Yeah, I got you, buddy. Yeah, definitely. We actually managed to pick up the win last night too, so we're riding the three race. Yeah, we're riding the three race streak, hoping to make it four here tonight. But thank you. Um, right, right. I don't know. Feel pretty confident here. The line, the line, and the way the truck is feeling here tonight is a little bit different than what last night was with the Arca car. I kind of figured it'd be the same, but it's not really racing that way. So, kind of watching the line right now and how the track is, and looks like it's starting to move to the top, which is good. That's kind of where we ran last night. So, I don't know. I feel comfortable. I just not really sure what the track's going to do and where we're gonna need to run toward the late stages of the race tonight. But hopefully it goes well.
The whole time, which kind of sucks here. But my mic is back on, and you've been answering the questions I've been slinging to you. So, but yeah, congratulations on the three-race streak. Yeah, definitely opening the floodgates for the wins. It was talked about a few different times on these streams with you finishing third and second. You had not had a win in the league, and you before this season or whatever, you hadn't done a whole lot of league racing. You had pretty much just done official racing. And I kind of thought, after the first two races there, of you finishing third and second, that we were getting real close on the brink of you getting that first win, and you happened to do it the night before I got to call your race, and you did it again. But I mean, three races in a row, that's a pretty good thing to be doing here in this league where it is stacked full of very, very skilled drivers. So, Knoxville, I mean, I'm not terrible at dirt myself. At least in the trucks, I can kind of maneuver myself. But you throw me anything else that runs on dirt, and I'm pretty much in the wall or just parked on pit road. But it sounds like you've got a handle on this thing. Two races in a row would be another one. This would be four wins in a row for you. We'll definitely see if you can make this out. How are you feeling about tonight's race going into the rest of the season if you can notch another win?
I mean, we kind of talked about it before too. I mean, wins are great, and it felt good to get that first one. And I mean, we're on a little bit of a run right now, and hopefully we can continue that here in the dirt where we feel comfortable. I think the first race after the New Year or after the holiday break is Iowa in the trucks or something like that. I think the next race is Iowa, and
It is
feel pretty
it is
com-
definitely Iowa, which is only right down
yeah.
the road. So
Right, and I like that track just as much as I do the dirt stuff. So, looking forward to getting there. So hopefully, fingers crossed, we got a four race win streak that we can go into there and maybe make it five. But it feels good to be running up front. Like I said, it's nice to you want to win every race you run, but the reality of that is, near impossible. So, to be running top five, top three consistency is key, and to finally parlay them into wins, definitely feels good. Just hopefully we can keep the momentum rolling and take it all the way through to the end of the year.
I mean, for just the truck series though, three races completed, and you have not finished outside the top three. Two of those you haven't finished outside the top two. So definitely consistency is your new nickname for sure. But you could probably throw in those four races straight of not finishing outside the top three. And I don't know what you did prior to that in the ARCA series. So definitely sounds like you're consistent. Definitely sounds like you're on a roll. Don't get off that wave. Ride that thing out and see how many wins you can put in that belt. We've got Matt out there saying Jason whooped us last night. So I'm not sure that was something else going on in the dirt race that you were able to get the win, but Jason was doing something or
So
doing fairly
I
well.
don't
Or
know I don't know what Jason was doing, but me and Nick had a pretty good race there for the 100 lapper last night. So we traded some sliders and stuff back and forth. So it was a fun race last night, but I think tonight will be more of the same. I hopefully it looked like there were quite a few guys that maybe weren't very comfortable in the dirt tonight. So hopefully we have a good race and we're not under yellow a lot. But these things are tough. I mean, these are heavy cars on dirt, and they're kind of somewhat made for dirt, but they are a challenge to drive. So hopefully we get some green flag runs in and put on a show like we did last night.
All right. Well, this is last week's winner and three straight winner, Jared Mogart, up into the booth here. Gonna let you go back down. I know qualifying is getting ready to start or has started here. So good luck, and we'll see if we're talking to you the end of the night and you can get this four-peat done.
Sounds good, buddy. I appreciate it. You have a good broadcast. Hopefully we're talking to you later.
All right. Good luck.
Thank you.
All right, so that was last week's winner, Jared Mogart, up into the booth into that 0-0. He is currently on a three-race win streak in AER with 2 ARCA wins and last week's truck race win. So going for 4 in a row. But yeah, we're looking to see what's going on, Matt. I was kind of wondering if that's what you were meaning, but no, it makes sense now. I got you. CM Bama 89 out there saying, "Good luck, guys. It's gonna be you know what. Hopefully, it does not turn into a you know what. Hopefully, this is a clean race and we're not seeing a lot of yellow at all. Not seeing a whole lot of people on track. I'm seeing what looks to be about 20, so that's a good amount of trucks on this small quarter-mile track with about what is that, a half-degree banking that this track has. So." Actually, pulling that up now. Half-mile track, sorry, not a quarter mile. It's located out in Marion Fairgrounds in Knoxville, Iowa. They usually run a lot of the nationals for the 360s, the Knoxville Nationals and late model Knoxville Nationals. They've got multi-day events going on. They got weekly racing events. Track features sprint cars, including the 410s, the 360s, the Pro Sprints, the 305s. And each August they do hold the Paramount Sprint Car event in the United States in Knoxville. So this is pretty cool to be here. I'm definitely liking the track. I think it's a pretty cool size. It's it's not terrible. It's got 7 degrees of banking. I said 5, but 7. So it's got a little bit of banking in the corners, so where you can really let the cars slide on the banking, but you don't want to get up over the lip and have to go up towards the wall. You don't want to get up in the dirt or the slick dirt that's up on top. But I'm wondering what grooves will wind up coming into play here. If so many guys are running the bottom, will it turn into what we see, in NASCAR with the cars going to Bristol? You do get that slick bottom where it's kind of like a hard concrete compact of dirt. So we'll see if guys actually start moving grooves or if guys start going up to the top or anything like that. But right now, we'll go down and throw into the national anthem, and we'll be right back. Give that big salute to the red, white, and blue, all the men and women out there in the EMTs, police, fire departments, all of the military, and we'll be right back. we're back here for the Knoxville race for AAR. American Elite Racing has the ARCA series. They have the truck series. They have multiple series going on. So we'll take a look and watch to see what's going on here in this series and see what we can come up with tonight. Hopefully it's going to be a good show. There's a lot of guys that are pretty good at dirt. There's a few that are mediocre at dirt, and there's a few that are not comfortable on the dirt. So this could get very interesting to see who makes it through and who does not tonight. Give me just a second here. I got to turn down their talking. So we'll go side by side before this thing starts up here, and I'll be right back with a commercial break. All right, we're back for the Knoxville race for American Elite Racing. We've got Matt out there, Superfast 007 or 007 out there saying not racing tight because I'm not any good on dirt. Should be an interesting race. I would definitely agree. It's definitely a hard thing to do. Put these cars around on this track in the dirt. I don't fault you for not being here, but I would have probably started in park just to get an extra point for showing up tonight. But hey, if you're not comfortable, you're not comfortable. I definitely can understand that. So, but right now, I'll bring up the gridding. We've got gridding going on. Charles Mosley Jr. will take the pole tonight with Mike Miller starting second in that 15 truck. Jared Mogger, who we just spoke to, last week's winner, and on a 3-race win streak in American Elite Racing, starting third. Jamie Haynes starting fourth. Nick Gowan starting fifth tonight. Austin Greer going to round out top 6. Jason Fensler starting out 7th. James Suggs 8th. Jeremiah Nelson 9th. Michael Carter 10th. Ryan Murphy 11th. Mike York will be 12th. We've got Ian Humphreys 13th. Robert Mathis 14th. Dylan Pickersmeyer is going to be 15th. Matthew Helm is going to be 16th. Sam Taylor 17th. Kane Lee will be 18th. Jeff No will be 19th. Daryl Johnson 20th. Frank Ranger Jr. 21st. Al Likens 22nd. Robert Hottenbach 23rd. David Deputy 24th. Mike Newton 25th. Then we've got Stan Kernathan in 26th. I'll try to catch up here on the numbers. All right, Doug King will be 27th, Adam Botten 28th, Mark Morton 29th, Tay McDonald 30th, Jason Palmer 31st, and Jorge Rincon will round out this field starting 32nd in the back of the pack. This is going to be a very large pack on track tonight. Even with few guys missing, we've still got 32 trucks on track on this short half-mile dirt track. Is going to be very, very interesting to see who can make it around here and maybe dodge a few bullets, with some guys being very, very fast on this track. Some guys will not, so you'll see the leaders coming around to lap maybe a few different trucks, and who will be in the way of the leaders, as there's only a few different ways to go around this track. It's going to get interesting to see who decides on what path to try to dice through the traffic as we come up on lap down cars. But we are underway here as the trucks are coming out onto the dirt with that big old, I'm going to say Chevy pace truck out there on track right now. Remember, this is brought to you by our iRock TV out on Roku. You can watch this out on Facebook, Twitch, YouTube, and on the Roku app on your TV, where you can watch in 4K. If you go to Roku, if you have Roku, the Roku Stick, Roku TV app, any one of those, go in there and search for iRock TV. Bring it up on your TV or your laptop or your phone, and you can watch it in 4K speed. The graphics are completely different on Roku. But if you're joining us on Facebook, Twitch, and YouTube, definitely appreciate you guys tuning in and watching from there. Definitely tune in tomorrow night, as well as we'll go to Velocity Motorsports over there and race number 3 over there. So got some big events coming through, and we'll see what happens here. But a lot of trucks on track tonight. This is going to get interesting once we get going here. I have a feeling we're going to see a lot of mud flying and a lot of maybe sheet metal flying at the end of the night. We got JF Career 63 out there saying go off in the 45 truck. And A. Miller 2098 out there in the same go number 15. He's starting second tonight, so Mike Miller going to be featured on the camera for now as we get going here under green. One lap of 120, and our caution's out before we even get going here. Does not look like a lot of people got going, and we've got a crash about midway through the pack. So number 15 going to be up front for a little while. Appreciate friends and family of Mike Miller joining in tonight like they did last week. Definitely appreciated that. But big caution right off the start. Don't even think they got going through the finish line or the start line before they started spinning around. So we'll go back here and look. I think this started with Matt Helm. So we'll go back and find Matt in the traffic and see what we can figure out happened to Mr. Helm. All right, so it looks like they're coming off of turn 4 here, and Matt Helm is going to be right there in the blue and turns it into the wall. Spins it around right in front of a few of the trucks. The 11 has nowhere to go as he's sliding. The 99 has nowhere to go. Mud is not easy to stop on, so a lot of guys spinning around. If you're in the wrong gear to start this race, you will definitely do that every single time on the restart. So hopefully the 33 learned from his mistake of that time, and we can get going here. First caution of the night, I don't even say half, maybe a quarter of the lap into the race. And we've got about 4 or 5 cars that were damaged. Frank Ranger Jr. is one of them. Dylan Pixmeyer is another one. And I believe Mark Morton was also involved in that. Al Likens may have been involved in that as well. Whew. Big start to the race here. But I am sitting on the 15 truck. So we'll jump through some of the driver details from what we have. Charles Moses Jr. out front right now in first, waiting for this thing to get restarted up. He is from Mobile, Alabama, driving his 89 machine. Mike Miller in that 15. Don't have any information still from Mike Miller. Got people watching for you, Mike. You might have to go out and fill out that information on SDK to get your SDK to get that information out there. Driving that number 15 Toyota TRD. Starting in second position, Jared Mauger sitting in third right now. No information on our 3-time winner right now either. Nick Gowan, fourth, sitting out of Atlanta, Georgia. He's your current past defending AER ARCA champion. I believe he is battling with Jared Mauger for that. So right now sitting in fifth is the 5 truck of Jason Fensler out of Elk Grove, California. Draping for David Racing Products and Fat Mike's Pizza. Sitting in sixth is the 20 truck of James Suggs out of Piney View, West Virginia. Michael Carter sitting 7th in the 2 truck out of Jacksonville, Alabama. And Austin Greer sitting in 8th with Ryan Murphy in 9th and Jamie Haynes in 10th out of Stewart, Virginia. coming around, and we're back under green. 89 getting going again in that Gatorade machine, and I'm seeing a caution out on track to start this next lap. Does not appear that the 17 got going or spun, and that would be Frank Ranger Jr. Not going to be a good start to this race with two of them in a row. So we'll take a look and see what happened to Frank Ranger. I'm going to guess that this was, again, a problem with being in the wrong gear. So going back to Frank Ranger Jr., we'll back it up here and take a look, see what happened. So he whipped it right around right in front of the pack as they were getting ready to start, and that was the truck that the 89 of Charles Mosley Jr. had to avoid on that restart. So not a very good restart or start of the race here. We are 8 laps in with 2 cautions already, and we haven't even run a full lap under green. So these guys are going to have to get this figured out. I do believe they have rules against if you cause too many cautions, you are parked for the night. So that would be 1 for Frank and 1 for Matt Helm. Back out front, Charles Mosley. All right, we will try to reach out and grab Charles Mosley Jr. from the front of the pack right now and see if we can talk to him about maybe what's going on. Charles, you got a copy of this? Charles, you got a copy of this? SWAT's up in the booth.
Yeah, I got you, buddy.
What's going on, bud? Actually, never mind. I will send you back down since we're on 1 to green.
Oh my God, damn it.
All right, this is going to be interesting. This is not going well for these guys. Got crashes all over the place on that one. They did go green, but let me pull it up here and we'll see what happened. All right, Charles Mosley Jr. was leading this race, went to hit the gas, and it spun him straight into the wall. Bounced off a few different trucks there and brought out another caution. Went rolling as they past him here. He was clipped by a few different people, so not a very good start to this race for these guys. They've got to get it buckled down and figure out what is going on in the mud. Looks like super fast 007 you might have chose right tonight, but you might have gotten a couple points with guys getting wrecked out here. All right, so that is going to put the 15 truck of Mike Miller in the lead, leading his first laps of the season, I believe, for the trucks. So 15, if you are a fan of the 15, he is out here in front in the lead. And we are on 1 to green right now. Coming through the backstretch, 15 of Mike Miller, now your leader. We'll see if he can take the green and not spin the tires, and we'll see if we can actually complete a green flag lap here, as we've had 3 cautions with 3 different spins from tires. We're going to come back around turn 4 and try to get this thing going again. We're underway again. Green flags out at Knoxville. Going into turn 1, we've completed our first turn 1, turn 2 exit. 15 is going to be out front by a few car lengths. 31 of Nick Gowan closing in. Jared Mager to the 00 coming through turn 3 and 4. 15 is going to lead a lap. First green lap led. 15's looking pretty smooth out here on the dirt. Same with the 00 and 31 of Nick Gowan. Rest of the field, Jason Fensler sitting there in 4th right now in that red, bright red truck. James Sugg sitting there in 5th. Mike York has moved up through the field. He's up 6 positions right now and sitting 6th. Ryan Murphy 7th, Ian Humphreys 8th, Michael Carter 9th, and Robert Mathis 10th. And we have another caution out on track. This one looks to be a bunch of cars as well, and I believe this one's going to be Matt Helmeken. This would be his 2nd. Alright, so there he is in the blue. He gets run into by Sam Taylor and gets pushed into the inside wall. Definitely got some fender work to be worked on. There's a bunch of guys after him that spun. Oh, jeez. The 99 got run right into by the 33 as he was coming around. 54 went around. The 88 that spun the 33 early on, he was around in turn 2, and the 17 spun around, trying to avoid all of the incidents. All right, let me go try to find somebody to pull up in here. I would love to pull up Mike Miller if you're a fan or friend or family of Mike Miller. If you could let him know he needs to join the Discord during the races so that I can bring him up to the booth so you guys can hear him talk about what's going on in his truck. But he has not been in the Discord the last 2 races, so let me see if I can go grab somebody else. Nope, never mind. We're 1 to green again. See if I can find Mark Morton real quick. Mark Morton, you got a copy of the SWATs on the booth.
Okay. Sir, how are you?
I'm doing all right. I'm doing a little better than you are. How this race is not going smoothly for you guys. It looks like guys can't get the tires underneath them. 3 cautions from restarts alone. And then that one there, just somebody spun around. But what were you seeing on track when you were on track?
Well, unfortunately, right before we started going green, I had a technical issue, so I was
were you the
trying
truck
to
that was
fix
spiking?
my gas pedal on brake. I was full throttle while hitting the brake, so I backed out and fixed my wheel, and now my crew chief guy is not letting me go, so I'm just sitting on pit road.
I did hear somebody on the gas pedal as soon as they got into the gridding situation. I wasn't sure who it was, but I could hear the engine just being revved. So that's unfortunate for you. You're sitting here in the top 10 in points. Hopefully the crew chief will let you back out on track.
Yeah, I'm
and,
literally. It's so frustrating.
But what are you hearing from guys on the track as far as in the race chat? Are you hearing anything from anybody talking about the the track being slick, tires, wrong gears on restarts, or anything like that?
More just from running with practice, just what I see, I could tell there was a lot of people who were not used to running dirt. So I was one of them. I was just gonna run in the back, but I assume people are I thought they were gonna just run smooth with it, but it's definitely a points opportunity race, but it's unfortunate for those who get involved in it or wrecked and stuff like that. But it's still a learning curve to us all. It's just like everybody going to
Bristol Dirt.
Bristol Dirt for the first time. So it's just a learning curve for everybody, and unfortunately some people are better than others.
Well, hopefully we can see you back out on track. If not, we'll see you next week at Iowa. It's only a short trip from Knoxville to Iowa, so we'll send you back down to your team, and good luck, and hopefully we'll see you back on track.
Yeah, appreciate it.
All right, so unfortunately, a bad situation there for Mark Morton, but while we were talking to him, we had another caution out on track. Looked like one of the cars spun in the corner, clipped a couple others. I know Rob Hattenbach, Sam Taylor, Tay McDonald, Doug King, Stan Carnathan, Kane Lee, and Matt Helm, and Frank Ranger Jr. again were involved in this one. So a lot of different people being used up on track, and we're only 23 laps into 120 laps, but we spent, I would say, about 15 laps under caution right now. But Mike Miller is currently your leader, with Jared Mogerson is outside with Nick Gowan on the inside of the 31 truck. Mike Miller leading first handful of laps for him in this league. If he can stay out front, he could be the winner on this one. He's just got to stay clean and stay out front and use that gap that he's got on Nick Gowan and Jared Mogert. Let them battle it out and just be smooth up front. He can get away from these guys and stay away from the carnage that's happening behind him with guys who are a little bit more inexperienced on dirt. Miller coming around to lead another lap, lap 25, going into lap 26 now. Jared Mogert and Nick Gowan. Nick Gowan moved into second. Jared now third. Jason Fensler fourth. Ian Humphries is the top 5. Mike York still sitting there right outside the top 6. This is where it gets difficult with these lap down trucks. They've got to get a groove going and get momentum and rhythm to figure out where they need to go on the track to avoid some of these lap down cars. Fortunately for them, the lap down cars are trying to stay low on the track. At this point in the race, they might want to be up top, but we see another truck there. He's up top at the 17, and he's getting loose and almost coming down in front of the leader. 15, Mike Miller running around this track, 27 laps in. He is looking pretty smooth out front. Nick Gowan, Jared Mogert, your last 2 winners, are sitting here back door to door trying to race, but we've got another caution out on track, and this looks to be involving a few other trucks. The 13 of Mike Newton, the 16 of Doug King, and the 89 of Charles Mosley involved in this one. We'll take a quick look back and see what we can find about this one. All right, so we see the 11 up there in the top groove. As he's going around, he gets a little slower. 13 had nowhere to go, runs right into the side of him, turns both of them down to the inside wall. 11 tries backing up, but backs right up into the groove, and it turns the 17 around as he gets turned from another driver. That's where, at this point, if you're down on the bottom, you just stay down there until all the trucks pass. But unfortunately, that's not what happened there. The 11 tried to come back up on the track, and a few other cars got involved. All right, we'll go and try to pull Nick real quick. Nick, you got a copy of the SWATs with the booth.
Hey, how you doing?
I'm doing a little better than you guys are right now. At least you guys in the top 3 are separating yourselves. What are you hearing from the other drivers that are having a ton of issues on these restarts? Is it, the wrong gear? Is it the tires being slick on the mud? Is it just inexperience? What are you thinking from your driver's seat?
I think it's D, all of the above. I think it's just a little bit of both, maybe just inexperience, but also just navigating how much throttle put down, because it is super slick. So, I mean, the last couple of restarts, I've started in 4th gear just because I didn't want to slide yet. So, yeah, all of the above.
All right, well, you guys are coming off turn 4. Good luck on this restart. Don't spin those tires yourself, and I'll send you back down to your teammates.
Thank you.
All right, so it's Nick Gowan there in the 31 in the Aeons Motorsports paint scheme there. He is our winner from 2 weeks ago. Starting to try to stay up front. You heard him there. It's probably a little bit of all of the above for a lot of different drivers here. We've got guys who have little to no experience, so inexperience is definitely a factor. We've got throttle response with guys maybe stabbing at the pedal and spinning the tires and shifting them either low or throwing them into the wall. You got the wrong gear to where you might be trying to start in a lower gear to try to get more acceleration, and it's just spinning the tires as well. And then it's just little mistakes here and there that on dirt, you just can't stop once somebody spins in front of you. There is no stopping it. You see Nick Gowan there getting a little loose as Jared Malgard went around him on the outside. He was able to conserve and save that truck as Jared went right by on the outside. Now he's got Jason Fensler closing in on his rear end as well. See if he can hold them off. Out front, though, Mike Miller leading this race. He's been leading it since about laps 12. So he's about 34 laps into this race, looking really smooth out front. That 15 and that Toyota, loving the Toyota TRD paint scheme, and the 15's looking really, really good. And hopefully we get him up into the Discord if he actually wins this thing. 13 down on the bottom of the track, right in front of the leader. The 15 easily able to let off the gas just a little bit to continue his slide. He's able to dive underneath that 13 as the 13 moved up off the groove. But this is where, like I said, it gets difficult for these guys to make passes on the lap down cars because everybody's trying to run the same groove. And, you know, the inexperienced drivers, once they get used to running one groove, they don't really want to get off that groove. And even though that is the preferred groove for a lot of these guys, as we have another caution out on track. And I'm going to have to go and find this one. Looks like the 99 might be involved in this one. All right, this is going to be Frank Ranger Jr. and James Suggs. So that would be the 17 again, who we just saw in an incident earlier. So 17 and the 20 of James Suggs. 17 gets loose, turns right down into the door. The 20 spins up track to 29, having nowhere to go, runs right into the back rear end. 20 that spun around gets going after he spins himself back around, but a bunch of guys involved with 99-20 making contact, 99-17 making contact as well. A lot of bent fenders and a lot of damage to a lot of these trucks. Crews going to be working overtime to get these things fixed for next week's race for Iowa. So another caution on track. 7 so far, 21 laps of caution laps. 37 laps completed out of the 120. So we've got about a quarter of the race done. We'll come right back after this commercial break. I'm going to go side by side so you won't miss the restarts. And we'll come back and talk to maybe another driver. We're back here for American Esport or American Elite Racing. Had a caution underneath that commercial break there. A few guys not able to hit the brakes and slid in the mud and went into contact with a couple different guys as guys got loose and moved 17 and that was 20. Talking to a few different drivers there while we were in a commercial break, there was a lot of guys saying there's a lot of inexperienced drivers out here. One of the guys I was just talking to said it was his first race ever on dirt. So, definitely.
That was me.
Definitely.
Are you still in our Discord, or am I in yours?
I'm probably in yours. That would be right. Yeah, one of the guys I was just talking to, who just spoke up because I was sitting in their Discord, David Deputy 11. He said this was his first race on dirt. So we'll see if guys can gain a little experience. We've got about 70 laps left as Jared Maugert leads another lap here. He got in front of Mike Miller in the 15, was able to take the lead. Nick Gowan now sitting third. Maugert looking to go around through turns 3 and 4, coming across another lap here. 51 completed. We've got Kool-Aid out in the track saying, or out in the chat saying, Truck Series is stacked with talent. I would absolutely agree, Kool-Aid, but maybe not talent for dirt. As it looks like we've only got about, I would say maybe a handful of guys, I would say 10, 15, maybe out of the 28 that are on track right now that seem to be able to either be very good on dirt or at least can hold their own on the dirt. But then there's that other 15 that just don't have the experience on dirt or have never touched dirt, and it's piling them up here. But Jared Maugert looks really good. The 15, the 31, the 5, all looking really, really good in this series so far on the dirt. Mike York still sitting there in 5th. Ian Humphreys now 6th. Mike Carter up to 7th. Ryan Murphy 9th, and Jeremiah Nelson rounding out the top 10. The rest of the field is looking like Dylan Picklesmeyer is going to be 11th. James Suggs, who we've seen in a couple different incidents, sitting 12th. Charles Moses Jr., who was your pole sitter, sitting 13th. Adam Botten going to be 14th. Jeff No, Mr. Stout Whiskey, with his big move last week to finish 2nd, sitting 15th. Al Lyken's going to be sitting 16th. Robert Mathis 16th or 17th. Stan Carnathan out there in 18th. Top 5 in points. David Deputy sitting 20th, Austin Greer 19th, Sam Taylor 21st, Mike Newton 22nd, Robert Hattenbach is going to be 23rd, Frank Ranger Jr. we've seen in a bunch of incidents tonight, still out here running in the 24th spot. Kane Lee 25th, Doug King 26th, Dave McDonald 27th, Matt Helm, who we've seen in a few different incidents, sitting in 28th, Mark Morton, who was not able to start this race. We heard a truck that was revving like crazy when we went into the lobby, and it was actually him, and he had backed out and then came back in, and he was held on pit road. He's currently sitting about 30 laps down. Daryl Johnson going to be sitting 30th, Jason Palmer 31st, Jorge Rincon sitting 32nd. 32 trucks out on track tonight in Knoxville Speedway up in Iowa. We'll be back in Iowa next week for the Iowa Speedway right down the road. But we'll be back on pavement. Kool-Aid out there saying those top 3 are elite. I would absolutely agree on dirt. We wish we could get 2 of those guys from the 87 series to race with them. Lots of lap traffic. Yeah, that's part of the issue is once we've gone green, the leaders, they've had to pick and choose their lines to try to get through these lap down trucks, or else they're kind of stagnant sitting behind them. But you don't want to be next to them either, because they're lap down cars for a reason. They're not fast, or got damaged or gotten in incidents, things like that. They've had to pick and choose those lines and try to work their way and dive and knife through the packs of cars that are running together. You've got certain guys who are pretty much the same level talents. You see the 00 split, the 88 and the 10 right there. That was very close for the leader, Jared Mogert, who slipped right between the two trucks. And actually, that was the 12, not the 10. Now you see the 15 coming in, sliding in, almost making contact with the 40. 10, whatever it is. Right there as well. So side-by-side action as these guys are trying to pass these lap-down cars. And it's getting very, very dicey up here for the leaders. You see the 31 a little slower through the traffic, did not make the aggressive moves that the 00 and the 15 did. He's a little bit behind the 3 lap-down cars these guys just worked through. But Nick Gowan still sitting safely in the top 3. Jason Fensler back here in 4th, right behind Nick Gowan with Mike York right behind him as well. You've got 2 of the Aeons guys in the top 6 right now. Jamie Haynes working his way back through the field in the 53 Advanced Auto Parts car. The truck, he is coming through. He's got some damage on the right side from an incident earlier. The 29 who we saw get into an incident, he was a lap down there. But we've got another caution out on track as we are 61 laps halfway through this race. You got a couple guys sliding down off the track, or off the top of the track, coming back down. So we'll go and find out what happened to this one. I believe this is going to be Dylan Pixmeyer that's involved in this one. So we'll take a look back and find Dylan on track and see what we can pull up for him. All right, so there is Dylan out on track in that 38, and I believe that was James Suggs that was coming right behind him. Looks like he slides up the track a little bit, sitting behind the 89 and the 7. Running that boot barn paint scheme, goes through the front stretch, into the corner. Sliding out just a little bit. 11's up out of the groove. 38 trying to dive through some of this traffic. Looks like he had a little contact there from the 20. Wiggles it a little bit. 20 trying to do everything he can to get to him as well. And I'm not sure what brought up the caution, so we'll go back live and see what we can find out. Back 1 to green as we have Jared Mogert on the outside in that front row. Going to be your leader. Mike Miller has not been outside the top 3 all night. He's sitting there in second on the inside row, that front row. Nick Gowan and Jason Fensler are going to be sitting 3rd and 4th. Nick on the bottom in that 31, the 5 on the outside. Jared Mogert getting a great restart with Jason Fensler on the outside as well. Gets side by side with the 15-15 slide around that rear end. 5 is going to have the momentum on the outside. Is going to maybe carry that speed through as 15's getting loose. You see that back end slipping and sliding on him. As we go through the corner here, will Mike Miller be able to hold on to second place with Jason Fensler? Now Mike's on the outside, Jason Fensler on the inside, switching up on him. They're going to come together, make some contact. Luckily, it was right in the perfect spot for when they needed to turn in. Both of them sideways, they entered that corner. Jason now getting to the back bumper of the 15 again. The 31 back there having to battle some of the traffic. He's battling a teammate of Mike York right now. The 23 is on the bottom. The reverse paint scheme of what the 31 has, those 2 teammates. And you got the, oh, we got another caution out on track. And I'm seeing a lot of names popping up on this one, so we'll take a look here, as it looks like it is David Deputy going to be involved in this one. And that would be the 11 truck. It looks like the 11's kind of easing his way around the corner. He's got the 33 right there, Mike Newton, that gets a little loose sideways and comes back, or 13, sorry. Comes right back in front of the 11. 11 having nowhere to go and get some more damage to that front end that he's already got. These guys get turned around and get going again. We had Mike Miller, or Mike Newton, David Deputy, James Suggs, Al Likens, all involved in this one. Go ahead and grab Jared real quick. Jared, you got a copy of this SWATs up at the booth.
I got you, buddy.
All right, bud. You're out front, looking really smooth. Really haven't been outside the top three. We're over halfway through this race with 53 laps to go. How are you feeling with being the front runner right now?
Pretty good at like the top lane. It's kind of starting to move up a little bit, and I actually feel a little bit better than what I did when we were running the bottom. So the more it widens out, the more it sticks up. I think the better we'll be. So hopefully, it kind of continues here. We're starting to get some green flag runs too, which is definitely helping a little bit.
Well, you've been able to stay out of the hornet's nest. We've had 10 cautions. We've had wrecks from the front, the middle, to the back, and you've been able to stay out of it. Good job on that. And are you thinking this end is going to be, green, or do you think we'll see green-white checkers with the way that the race has been running so far?
I'm not really sure here. I think we'll be able to get a green flag on here toward the end, but we'll see how it goes here coming to green. So.
All right. Well, good luck, and your team or your driver that you're sitting in the chat with, Jason Fencer, sitting right behind you. So good luck on the rest of the race. Hopefully, we're talking to you at the end of the night.
10-4, thank you.
All right, getting ready to go back green here, and I got Papa Bear out in the chat. What's going on, Papa? We are back green here with 70 laps completed out of 120 at Knoxville. AER's Truck Series race number 4 is underway. We're over halfway. We've had 10 cautions tonight, 30 laps under yellow. But the green flag laps that we've had, these guys that are running up here in the top 5, top 6, have been very, very smooth, very, very fast all night. Jared Moggart and the 15 have been leading majority of these laps. The 31 has not been outside the top 5. 23 has made big moves and is up 8 positions from his starting position. Mike York on that 23 grid wrench paint scheme is trying to use that high line to get around his teammate, the 31. Looks like he's able to get past him here. Now his teammate also under fire from Ian Humphreys in the 32. He's going to be coming around, and we have another caution out on track, and this one's going to be involving, looks like familiar names, Al Likens, Doug King, and Mike Newton going to be involved in this one. Take a quick look and see what we can find out what happened to Al and Doug and Mike. Alright, so we're on Al Likens here in the 18. Coming through the start-finish line, going into the corner. It runs right into the back of the 13, turns him down into the 16, and 3-car pile up in the corner. Oh, and the 17 comes around and barely misses the 18. So that is the caution for tonight, number 11 on the night. All right, I'm going to throw us into a commercial break and come on right back. number 4, and just as we come back, a caution comes out. But that was a good run there. There was about 15-20 laps they just ran. We've had 13 cautions, 36 laps to go. Jared Mogart out front looking for 4 straight in AER, 2 series, ARCA, and trucks. Nick Gowan has moved into second. Mike Miller, who's been up front most of the night, is sitting third. Ian Humphreys is sitting 4. Charles Moses Jr. worked his way all the way back up to the top 5. Mike York still sitting in 6th. Jamie Haynes, who we just spoke to under commercial break, and he is talking about guys who have a little bit of inexperience that are getting experience tonight, and guys who are experienced are out front, so they're kind of staying away from the carnage. Jeremiah Nelson sitting 8th, Ryan Murphy 9th, Michael Carter 10th, Dylan Pickesmeyer is going to be 11th, Robert Mathis 12th, Jason Fensler has slipped to 13th, Jeff No still right around in the middle of the pack at 14th, Adam Botten 15th, Stan Carnathan is going to be 16th, Austin Greer 17th, Rob Hattenbach 18th, Sam Taylor 19th, and David Demity is going to be running out the top 20. So right now we've got 34 to go as we come around turn 4 for another lap completion. So we'll have 33 to go after they cross the start stripe. Most of the guys out front have not pitted all night. They've run 87 laps on the tires and fuel. With as many cautions they've had, caution laps, and be able to conserve, they should be good to go to make it to the end of the race, which is kind of shocking. But with about 39 caution laps, about 40 when we get through this one, you got about a quarter of the, or about a third of the race under yellow. So they've been able to conserve a lot of fuel, a lot of time on their tires and things like that to cool them down. And we'll see if everybody can make it to the end. But Jared Mogart going to be out front in that Chevy. 2 Chevys on the front row. Jared Mogart and Nick Gowan in second. Mike Miller third. Ian Humphreys going to be lining up right behind the 31. Looks like Mike York did slip all the way back to 13th. Looks like he may have pitted a few laps ago too. So looks like he went and got some tires and fuel, and he's good to go for the rest of the race. We're back under green here as we get going. 89 laps completed to 32 to go. Jared Mogart and Nick Gowan, Mike Miller, all 3 have been super fast all night. They have been very, very clean. They've been banging, or getting right next to each other, door to door. Really no contact between the 3 of them. And as I say that, we have another caution coming out on track, and I believe that is going to be the 99 that is involved in this one. And I believe that is Rob Hottenbach that is involved, with Al Likens as well in the 18 truck. So you got Rob Hockenbach in the 99 truck, and we'll stay on him as we go through this corner and see what happens on the restart here. Al Likens as well in the 18. 18 goes spinning around down on the bottom, clears the field, so no caution for that one. Rob Hottenbach going through the corner. Does he get help? And it looks like he gets help from the 23 of Mike York as he gets turned around in the corner, gets up on the hump and has to get up off of it. Brings out the caution, and that is our 14th caution of the night. Back up front, we've got Jared Mogart and Nick Gowan still leading this race. We've got now 29 laps to go. We've got 1 to green as they go through turns 1 and 2 right behind that big old Chevy Pace truck. I think they took the emblems off of it, but I'm still calling it a Chevy because that's what it looks like. I guess you could say it maybe looks like a GMC as well, but I'm going with Chevy. Mike Miller is the only Toyota in the top 10, sitting in third. He's been in the top 3 all night, led about 30 laps of this race, and has slipped back to third. Ian Humphreys sitting there in fourth, has been in pretty much the top 6 all night. Charles Mosley is your pole sitter. He had an early wreck that had slid him all the way back to about 19th. He was down 2 laps and has gotten back on the lead lap, has worked his way all the way back up to the top 5 with his teammate Jamie Haynes and other admin right on the inside of him in that 53 machine. Charles Mosley Jr. in that Gatorade paint scheme with the 53 of Jamie Haynes and Advanced Auto Parts. These two teammates have been working together for a very long time. They work very well on super speedways. And I'm sorry, Jamie Haynes is in the 53 in the white and black truck there. Looks like we have 2 53s on the track. Jamie Haynes is in the Advanced Auto Part 53 though. One in front of Charles Mosley is the 32, but it looks like a 53 on the side of his truck unless it's just the way the paint's scraped up. No, it's a 53. But back out front, Jared Mogard looking very, very smooth, going for his 4th straight win in AER. Not something a lot of people accomplish in 2 different series going on in the same weeks. 4 races straight. Could this be 4 straight for him? We've got another one on Tuesday nights that's looking for his 3rd straight win. And we'll see if that happens tomorrow night over in the Velocity Motorsports one. Come back and watch that at 7:30 as myself and Shad, or Shadilak, will be in the booth with me for that race tomorrow night from Velocity. We'll see if Tyler Dohar can go for his 3-peat over there to open the season. Jared Mogart has not finished outside the top 3 in these first 3 races. Could he do it again tonight? And I mean, for AER, the last 2 ARCA races he's won. The last truck race he won. So the last 3 races in AER he has not finished outside the winning position. And in the truck series he has not finished outside the 3 races so far outside the top 3. So Jared looking very, very good. Alyssa M204700 out there saying, let's go number 15. I've been pulling for Mike all night. I've been seeing this Toyota TRD paint scheme flying through here. He was up to the top position most of the night, ran about 30 laps up front, and has slipped back to 3rd, but he has now gotten past Nick Gowan and got back to 2nd place, and he's letting that rear end flip to the side and slide around these corners as he's actually making up time on Jared Mogart. Mike Miller actually the fastest truck on track by about a 1/10.5 over the leader, so he's definitely letting that truck get sideways and slide through these corners without losing momentum either. 22 laps to go as we go through Knoxville Speedway. Next week we go to Iowa, which is only right down the track from not right down the road from Knoxville here in Knoxville, Iowa. $21 to go, coming to 20 to go as we come through here. Jared Mogard out front still by about a 1.5 seconds. But the man on the move is Mike Miller in the 15 in the Toyota TRD paint scheme. He is definitely coming through and making up time. He's still the fastest truck on track by about a 1/10. So he is closing in, but very, very slowly, 1/10 or 2/10 at a time. He's got 20 laps to get there. If we can stay green, I can see this 15 getting to the back bumper of Jared, who is right there in front of him. Nick Gowan has slipped back to 3rd, sitting 3rd in points, or 2nd in points right now. Jared Mogard, your points leader, with his win last week and not finishing outside the top 3 in all 3 races to start this season. Mike Miller, though, has moved up in the top 10 in the points and is looking to do another good one tonight, as he is currently sitting 2nd, has led about 30 laps so far in this race. They got to pick their way as we're going green now for one of our, probably our 2nd longest green flag run of the night. They're having to pick their way through the lap down trucks, and that's where things get a little dangerous with guys who are a little more inexperienced than the guys who are making the passes on the lead laps. It gets dicey up here. We saw Jared and Mike Miller diving through about 2 or 3 cars at a time, and it was a little exciting here as we watched the 00 and 15 carve their way through the lap down traffic. They definitely made big moves and kind of aggressive moves through those lap down cars. Nick Gowan was a little more safer and lost some track time, but with the cautions coming out, he has gained it right back to him. He's still sitting about 3 seconds back right now from Mike Miller and Jared Mogart, as Jared has lost time to Mike, as Mike has closed in to about a second now. So he's using the tie line to his advantage. He's getting that truck sideways just enough to carry enough momentum through the corner. He's doing it very, very well. looking back from Jared Mager's truck. Let's take a look to see what he can see out the rear view mirror as we got a caution out on track, which is going to restack him. Mike Miller's going to be lining up next to the leader, but that was the gap right there. It was about a second and a half, depending on where they were at on track. From the distance between first and second, Mike Miller was closing in, though. He was one of the fastest trucks on track. But that is our 15th caution of the night. We've got 15 laps to go as well, and the 15 is currently sitting second to make a few different references to the number 15. Alyssa out there saying second place, woohoo. Fudge Backwards is saying number 15. And Alyssa saying, yeah, definitely fans of the 15, I would say. But yeah, definitely appreciate all the 15 fans coming out and watching your driver. If you know Mike, if you could remind him to please be in the Discord so I could pull him up during the races so you guys could hear him talk about how his races are going. Hopefully he is able to join us at the end of the night if he finishes in the top 3 podium spots. But as we complete these caution laps, we should be going to 1 to green here, which will be 13 to go, 12 to go when we go back green. And we'll get going here as 45 is going to make up his lap. Pace truck's going to pull back down in front of the 00. They're going to get lined up as we go 1 to green. We'll have 12 laps to go. Here to finish this race out at Knoxville. Slinging mud tonight is what the AR group is doing, and they've been slinging a lot of mud. 15 cautions, a lot of bent fenders, a lot of damaged cars, but still got 28 trucks running around this track, so guys are not banged up enough to be on pit road sitting. The only one I do see on pit road right now is Mike York, who was actually set as 16th place, but he is currently sitting on pit road. Coming through turns 3 and 4, Jared Mager going to be looking to get that start that he has been doing the last couple times over the 15. There's the green flag in the air being waved. He gets the jump on the 15 as we go through turns 1 and 2. 15 going to try to carry some speed and stay with the 00 and not have to make up that time. He was making up time on the high line. Jared using the bottom of the 15, getting loose. He's able to bang it off the 31 and get going straight again, but he's going to lose a position to the 31. He's also got the 53, the 32, and the 5 creeping up behind him. He's loose again. Truck pointed the wrong way. Gets up to the top line finally and is able to get going here. But Jared Mager out to a big lead over the 31. He's moved into second place. 15 is now up on the high line. Mike Miller sitting third. Ian Humphrey sitting fourth. Ian Humphreys right there in the 32, sitting right behind in the 15. 15's able to finally get it going, and he starts getting back into a rhythm to try to get the 15 truck to carry some speed to get to the 31. He's diving in a little bit hard there as the truck's getting a little bit too much sideways. Oh, and they got a truck sideways right in front of them as the leaders. And that is going to be big carnage for the leaders as the 31 truck has got smoke pouring out the back. And so does the 15, I believe, who's still getting hit by trucks. And I believe that is going to be the end of the night for the 15 and 31, who was the leaders. And the 15's getting going. Yeah, there's still some smoke coming out. That is going to be some bad carnage for these guys. If you guys do have a fast repair, though, they will be able to get right back into this and hopefully make up the laps. We've got 8 laps to go. Jared Mager out front, able to avoid the lap down truck of Mike York. But Mike having a bad night right there, just spun right in front of the leaders and collected his teammate in the 31 of Nick Gowan and the 15 of Mike Miller. That is going to be some damaging spirits, I guess, to those guys up front. Mike looking for his best finish of the year so far, the season. And not going to be there, I don't think. We'll take a look and see if they were able to fix that truck or not. Mike Miller. His truck is still spinning. He's got some damage to the right rear. He's trying to get to pit road. finally gets to pit road. We'll see if he can get this truck fixed or not. But he is on the front stretch, and the leader is coming into turn 3 and 4, so it's going to have to be a quick pit stop if that's the case. The 31's on pit road as well. I don't see him moving. Oh, and the 15 just blew an engine as he hit his pit stall. So I believe that's going to be the end of the night for both of them, unless I don't see tires going on, so looks like that might be the end of the night for those guys. I'll let you know, though, if the 15 does come back out on track, and the 31 as well. Jared Margaret out front with the 53 of Jamie Haynes now sitting second. 1 to green. Charles Mosley back up into the top 3 as well. Could he get back to his top position that he was in when he started this race in the pole? 7 truck of Jeremiah Nelson sitting there 4th. Dylan Pickenspire in his incidents earlier. The 15 is coming back out on track, though. He is 1 lap down, so if we have another caution here, he could be our truck that gets a lucky dog, which he is the only truck 1 lap down. So if a caution does come out here quick enough, he can get back on the lead lap. We're back under green as a 0-0 going through turns 1 and 2. 15 is going to be looking for a caution, but also looking to stay out of the next caution as the 31 truck also comes back out on the lap, but he is 2 laps down as he comes back out. 15 is going to be working his way through. 5 laps to go as Jared Margaret goes through and makes us 5 laps to go as we go through the corners of 1 and 2. Is Jared going to get his 4th straight win in AER? And there's the caution. As long as Mike Miller stays out of this caution, he will not stay at 1 lap down. He will get the lucky dog and come back on the lead lap. With only 13 guys on the lead lap, that would be a very big blessing for the 15, getting back on the lead lap that quickly. And he can come back and try to work his way through. I've got Alyssa out there saying 6 laps left, too much, shaking my head. I wouldn't say that, Alyssa. He's got a green-white checker coming, and he is going to be starting 13th in that. And he's got a chance here to get back up in the top 5. I don't know if he can get to the win, but he can at least get maybe up into the top 5 if he's got fresher tires, he's got fuel to keep the weight of the truck down. Mike York out there saying his wheel disconnected. That would definitely explain why his truck is spinning around in the turn right before the leaders. A very unfortunate technical issue for Mike to have, and that's going to hurt his points as well. But yeah, so that definitely is a unfortunate situation for you, Mike. Hopefully you can get that wheel figured out and getting back going here. But the 15 is going to be the luckiest person alive right now by getting the lucky dog and coming back out onto the track and getting back onto the lead lap. He will be 14th when we go back green here for the green-white checkered. So 15 still has a chance. And I do believe we have a few different green-white checkers that will happen. So you never know. He could definitely work his way through if we have a couple green-white checker cautions. He could work his way right back up into the top 3 here and battle it out. You've seen, I mean, most of the guys in the top 10 have all been involved in incidents tonight, besides Jared Margaret. He's got the only truck that's clean, so. One to green here as we come around turns 3 and 4. Jared Margaret and Charles Mosley Jr. going to be your front row with Jamie Haynes and Jeremiah Nelson in that second row. Green flag is going to be waving, and we will be back green for the green-white checkered. There it goes, and Charles Mosley hooks it hard right on the start. Dives right in front of the 7 truck. Jared Margaret right around through turns 1 and 2, picking up right where he was through 3 and 4. 2 laps to go as we go into 1 lap to go as we come around through 3 and 4. Jared going to be taking the white flag now. White flag is out as Jared goes through. 1 lap to go. Jared coming through 3 and 4 with Charles Mosley Jr. trailing him. You've got cars or trucks battling back there, crashing. The 0-0 coming out of 3 and 4, and the checker flag is waving. And Jared Margaret wins at Knoxville Race number 4 for AER Truck Series. Charles Moses Jr. is going to wind up second. Jamie Haynes third. Jeremiah Nelson's fourth. Robert Mathis fifth. Dylan Pickersmeyer sixth. Austin Greer seventh. Ryan Murphy eighth. Adam Botton ninth. Ian Humphreys 10th. Stan Granathan 11th. Jeff No 12th. Jason Fensler 13th. And Mike Miller 14th. As Mike Miller was involved in that last caution or last wreck before we got to the checker flag. They were wrecking out of turn 2, and it looks like Frank Ranger Jr., Jason Fensler, Mike Miller, Jeff No, Nick Gowan, Rob Hottenbach all involved in that one. Jared Margaret coming to the finish line, and we will go to our winning burnout as he just gets tattooed by the 54 before he gets to the burnout. Whew. Jared Margaret going to pull it into the victory lanes and get off the track and away from everybody. He is going to the podium spot. We'll be right back after the winning burnout break. All right, welcome back for KS Game Broadcasting. Burnout Lane top 3 are coming up into the booth here at Knoxville. An eventful, exciting, / boring kind of race, but it definitely exciting for these 3 as we will talk to our winner in the double O with a 4-peat within AER between ARCA and Trucks. Jared Mogert in the double 0, definitely completing that 4-peat. Jared, you were not the fastest on track to start the race. Charlie got you just by a little bit there to start this race, and you worked your way into the top 3 all night. Did not see you outside the top 3, I don't think, at all. You didn't pit all night either, and you just stayed up front and tried to avoid the carnage, and you were successful. You were able to knife your way through. There was a couple of moments there that you made me pucker just a little bit as you knifed through the traffic. You and the 15 of Mike Miller made it interesting, about 3 wide a couple of times as you guys dove through the traffic. But able to bring it home 4 in a row. How are you feeling after this? You know, we talked about it before. The floodgates apparently have opened for you with 0 wins in this league to now 4 in a row.
Yeah, pretty good. It helps when you're at tracks. Like Knoxville this week, we're really comfortable at. But I don't know. It was a good race. Just started out. We missed the pole there by a little bit, and I'm not really good on fresh tracks like that when they're really tacky and really muddy. So just kind of wanted to maintain the 15, the 89, and Goodwin or Goin was a little bit faster than us to start, but as it slicked off and the groove moved up, I felt a little bit more comfortable. And then I don't remember when it was. I saw the 15 kind of running up a little bit, moving up the bottom, and I tried that, and it felt a lot better. Just felt like it could keep more speed in the corners and get more down the straightaway that way. And just kind of stuck with that and just kind of kept moving up as the race went on, and felt better and better there toward the end. It was actually probably the best I felt all race, which I didn't think it was going to get up that high by practice. I didn't feel comfortable up there in practice. It didn't feel good, so I wasn't expecting it to get to that point, but it did. And like I said, I felt really really good there toward the end.
Well, you definitely look good out on track. Your truck is, or was, the only clean truck with no damage whatsoever on it until after the checker flag flew out. So at least you got that completed. But you pulled it right into victory lane. I mean, are you getting used to being in the victory lane now and coming up into the booth week in, week out, race in, race out, 4 straight?
Yeah, I mean, for me, I'm used to winning more often than not. So, to start out kind of slow here with these guys, new driver, new league. It was kind of frustrating a little bit, but at the same time, you can't complain with top 5, top 3 finishes like we started out the year with. So, I knew it was just a matter of time. I mean, there's some really fast guys. The 5, Nick, 89. I mean, there's 53. There's a lot of really good guys. So you can't really hang your head on a top 5 or a top 3 when you don't win. But it just makes getting wins, whether it be Sunday or especially here tonight in the trucks, with a lot more guys that run, just makes it more special to get it done, and to do 2 in a row in the truck series, 4 in a row in the league is pretty special. Get a week off here with the holidays, and then, like we talked a little bit earlier, going to Iowa. I think Iowa is probably my favorite asphalt track on the sim. So, really, really looking forward to going back there.
Well, that smells like trouble for the rest of the field. If Iowa is your favorite track and your best track that you're good at on asphalt, and you've got 4 straight, 2 straight in the trucks, 2 straight in ARCA, and you're going back to Iowa, which, I mean, you're only going right down the road, so just a little bit of a holiday break here. Pitch a tent somewhere, and we'll go to Iowa the next race. But if I was the rest of the field, I would start practicing Iowa tonight to try to get you to stop on your 4-peat and going for a 5-peat next race, and then 6-peat when we come back for trucks. It's getting kind of strange. I've got 2 series going right now that I'm broadcasting for, and I've got 2 different drivers on streaks. You're over here on a 4-peat between 2 different series, and I got Tyler Dohar out in another series going for 3-peat tomorrow night. So it's getting kind of weird watching the same guys run around and do this, but the fields that you guys are doing it in, I mean, this one here is stacked. So to accomplish what you've been accomplishing, I mean, you have not finished outside the top three in the first four races of this truck series. Your average finish is like a 1.8 or something between these four races of finishing third, second, and first twice in this truck series. So I would say consistency is definitely the key, and consistency, I think, is your new nickname. But if you keep winning, I'm just going to call you winner for your nickname. But congratulations on another win, 2 straight in the trucks, 4 straight in AER. Any shout outs for you? Any friends, family, people you want to thank, or anything like that?
Yeah, just gotta try and keep it going. But I just gotta thank TDS Internet, iBuy Power Computers, Asus Monitors, Twitchy Race Reports, everybody for tuning in. Jamie, Charlie, all the guys that are part of this league and the admin team. Thank you guys for what you do. You for doing the broadcast as well. And hopefully the fans enjoyed the show. Hope everybody has a good holidays, and we'll see y'all after the new year.
Definitely appreciate that, and we'll definitely catch you back here at Iowa after your ARCA race, and see if you can go for another another streak here or continue this streak. So good luck and enjoy the holidays, and we'll come back for the next race at Iowa.
Sounds good. Thank you, buddy.
All right, now we're going to bring up second place finisher, and that is going to be Charlie Mosley Jr. or Charles Mosley Jr. And we'll talk to him for just a minute here and figure out what his race strategy was after his incident on track. Charles, you got a copy?
Yes, sir. I got you, buddy.
All right, bud. I pulled you up right in the middle of the caution laps, thinking we had another lap to go for caution, and it was not a right time to bring you up, I would say, and I do apologize for that, because as soon as you hit the gas on that restart, it just yanked it right into the wall and sent you back. You went back 2 laps, but with the cautions that were coming out tonight, you were able to work your way back on the lead lap, work your way through the field, and get all the way back up into the top 3 with Jared in sight on that last restart after what it seemed to be the 23 had some technical issues with his wheel and turned right in front of the leaders, taking out the 15 and the 31. You were able to squeak through with Jamie, and you guys battled it out for the end. How did this whole race go for you? It had to be a roller coaster.
Man, it was rough. I was sitting here stressing the whole time. I think I threw my headset a couple times and probably said some bad words and all that kind of stuff. But Jamie kept sitting there telling me to calm down. He knew I was like pretty quick, so just try to keep a calm head and keep driving forward. So, but after listening to Jared's interview there and y'all talking, I think maybe we have to get a like a bounty situation set up in this league. So, like he's gonna win every race he gets in. So we may have to see if we can put like a dollar amount on his head, see if anybody can beat him.
All right, so we're going to go New Orleans St. Bounty Gate for the winner. We actually talked about that last week at the Velocity Motorsports on Tuesday about the rest of the drivers putting in some money for a bounty on Tyler Dohar. 2 bounties for 2 different leagues would be kind of exciting to see who could take out Jared in a good way, at least on track, and not taking him out by bumping and banging him or something like that. But going to a track that he seems to like and seems to think that he is going to be very good at, how are you going to look at going into Iowa? It's only a short trip down the road from Knoxville here on the dirt, but we've got the holiday break coming. I mean, it sounds like if these tracks here were not good tracks for him or decent tracks for him, and he's saying Iowa is one of my best tracks on asphalt, it sounds like you guys are gonna have to put some work in before we come back for that Iowa race.
Yeah, I mean, he's fast everywhere he goes. Obviously, you can see it by how he's won. I like Iowa myself. Probably not on his level as far as being as fast. Uh, but I mean, you never know, man. Like this league's full of people that can win at any time. I was just glad to even make it back to where I was at tonight and get the finish that I got. If I seen a shot there at the end, I told Jamie when we sitting there in chat that if I can get to his bumper, I'm gonna light him up a little bit, see if I can get a win. But he's just quick. I mean, he's clean, he's fast. So that's all you can ask for in the league. Just have people like that. You just learn from it.
He's been fast everywhere we've gone so far. I mean, this league, like I was saying before, is stacked from top to bottom almost here with guys who are very good at certain tracks or a lot of tracks. But there's a few of you that are really good at dang near almost every track that we go to, and it's been showing up in these top four or these first four races where the top three's been pretty consistent. Jared's been in the top three all four races. You've been in the top three now 2 races in a row. Or 2 races so far this season. Jamie's been up here. Nick Gowan's been up front pretty much most of the races. The 5 truck of Jason Fensler's been up here most of the races. It's been crazy to see the amount of drivers that are battling to get here to the top 10. And once they do, they run into brick walls with you guys who have some extraordinary talent. But you guys are doing it consistently. It's hard to say, you guys are the top level when there's so many different drivers in here who could win week in and week out, like you said, and like Jared said, and like Nick has said multiple times, that it's a lot of luck, but a lot of skill at the same time. So congratulations on another top 3 finish for you. Second place, dirt slinging. You got the pole, had the little bit of incident there that turned you into the wall, set you back 2 laps. You had to work through some anger issues there and get calmed down, and you work your way back from 2 laps all the way back up to the top 2. That's an incredible feat. That's 120 laps, and I think you did that somewhere around lap 40, lap 50. So in 70, 80 laps, you came all the way back to second. So congratulations, big night for you by doing that. Any shout-outs, things like that, friends, family, probably the girlfriend or wife that was talking you down a little bit there?
Oh yeah, definitely gotta give her a shout out because, like she said, she keeps my head straight, keeps me on level ground there. So I got a big shout out to her. She's a big supporter of like everything that I do on here. She supports all the people streaming, watches every one of them. So big shout out to her. Love her to death. And a big shout out to like Jamie and Joel and Doug and Keithus and Jeff, Michael, and all them and AER. Like it's real close family. I mean, we all communicate with each other. Jamie helps me out a tremendous amount. I try to help him in the whole league thing now. So uh, just doing what I can to make everything fun, man. I just want it to be fun. Everybody have a good time. I appreciate you very much. I enjoy listening to you on the stream. I have it up in the background so I can kind of watch replays and stuff like that. So it's people like you that just makes it even more fun. So just go back. I'll go tomorrow and I'll rewatch the race while I'm at work tomorrow and see what I done wrong and just go from there. So I just appreciate everybody that runs and just want everybody to have a good time.
I definitely appreciate that, and I appreciate you going back and watching this one. I don't know if you want to go back and listen to me. I got a little stagnant there with working through the cautions, trying to figure out who to talk to next, and hopefully not, cause any distractions. And like I said, I felt really bad when I pulled you up, thinking we had another lap to go, and then was like, "Oh, you're coming to one to green," and I sent you back down. And as soon as you hit the gas, you spun right into the wall, and I felt like that was my fault. So I do apologize again for that. But yeah, I was a little stagnant trying to figure out who to talk to and who I was not going to cause an incident for. So I even pulled up some guys that were sitting on pit road for a little while just to talk to them and find out what they were hearing in race chatter. But it was definitely interesting. 17 cautions seems like a lot, but it is dirt racing, and a lot of guys just don't understand or are not as fluent with dirt racing, where you got to go right to go left and turn the truck just a little bit sideways. So definitely an interesting, fun race to watch. Definitely a cool finish, and got a storyline going with 4 races in a row or 2 races in a row in trucks, and you guys are moving up through the points, you and Jamie. So congratulations again on the second place finish.
Hey man, I appreciate you very much. I mean, you don't even know. Like I said, you just make it interesting. And what happened when you pulled me in there, it didn't have nothing to do with you. That was all on me. And I keyed up real quick and told them that I made a mistake, and that's all it is. So you learn from your mistakes, and I was just fortunate enough to make it through the wreck there towards the end, and where I can finish second. And I'll take that because that's all you can do in with all these guys because everybody's so damn fast. So. But I appreciate it, and can't wait until the next one, and hope you have a good holiday.
All right, you have a good holiday yourself, and we'll catch you back here at Iowa after the holidays.
Yeah, man. Appreciate it.
All right, bringing up third place, and that would be Jamie Haynes in that 53 Advanced Auto Parts, not the 53 that was in white and black that was supposed to be the 32, but the 53 of Jamie Haynes. Jamie, you were hovering most of the night right around the top 10, top 15 most of the night. You stayed, you started fourth. You got one place better to finish the night, but you had your work kind of cut out for you to get through some of the traffic, the lap down traffic, the regular guys that were out in front of you. When you had incidents and things like that, you got some damage scrapes down the sides of this truck, but you were able to work your way back to the top three and get a top three finish. I believe your first top three finish of the season so far, as you were leading a bunch of laps at one of the races and then backed off for fuel. But how was it out there on track for you, out in that driver's seat? I spent some time in the cockpit of Jared's and a few others, and it's not easy to do what you guys do on dirt in these trucks.
Yeah, that's for sure. I was a lot better the first half to 2/3 of the race, but once it got real slick, then it was real hard to handle. And I just got lucky, when York's wheel crapped out and everybody got piled up. The seas parted just right, and I ended up not getting caught up in any of it. So that got me up there. But I felt like I had a fifth, sixth place truck, and it just circumstances played right, and I ended up getting third. So I'm decent at dirt races. I try to run a decent amount of them, but I can't complain about finishing third.
I mean, you guys talked a little bit through one of the cautions where you were saying, you run in every type of aspect of racing, whether it's dirt, road courses, dirt road course racing, asphalt road courses, all the different styles of vehicles, things like that. That you have A licenses in all four. Um, what benefit does that give you going into these tracks where guys who are not as fluent on style of racing that this is on dirt, where you got guys tonight who said this was the first time they even touched dirt. So what benefit does that give you to be well-rounded or very good in all four aspects of racing on iRacing?
Yeah, I think it gives you an immense amount of benefit. Just getting to drive all kinds of different things on all kinds of different tracks. There's plenty of days where I'm on iRacing and I'll run a truck at Kansas and then take a dirt street stock to Lanier and take a Mazda to Laguna Seca, and there's so many different things that you can learn in different vehicles and at different tracks and the feel and how they handle. And you can take stuff that you learn in a dirt street stock and apply it to a truck, even if you're at an asphalt track. It's just getting, I tell anybody who's trying to learn that it's not about getting your A license in 3 days. It's about turning as many laps as you can turn. If it takes you a year and a half to get your A license, so be it. But be one of those people who actually has an A license and knows what they're doing, as opposed to, oh, I've got an A license and I'm wrecking every race.
There's a difference between having the A license and having the safety rating as well. You got the iRacing level. There's a lot of people out there that have, the A license, but their I rating is, 700 or 800 or 900, because they just sat in the back on every single race and got the safety rating that moved them up through the licenses. So there's definitely a huge difference between that and actually running laps and trying to compete in the races and things like that, and still getting the safety rating and I rating to move up through the licenses. So I myself don't have A's in all of them. I think I have A in 2 of them. And there are guys that join iRacing and they definitely go to A license on asphalt oval in 3 or 4 days because they sit in the back of the field and finish out the races and avoid the carnage in every single race and move up through the licenses. And then they get into league racing and they realize that it is not the same as officials. So I would definitely agree. Being well-rounded in all aspects of racing definitely helps, because when you get into situations and leagues like this, where you have a dirt race or a road course or other styles of racing than just oval asphalt, it definitely comes into play. And on asphalt as well, when your car gets loose, if you're used to a car that gets sideways in the dirt, you have a little bit more handling to figure out how to drive that truck or car when it is sideways, even on asphalt. So tonight, yeah, go ahead.
I was gonna say, I mean, you look at the 4 races we have in a row. We had Knoxville tonight, dirt race. Got Iowa next, which is a little less than a mile asphalt. One after that's Watkins Glen, which is like 2 mile road course, and you got Pocono, which is a 2 mile fast but slow, massive oval. So you've got all ends of the spectrum in the next 4 races, in 4 races in a row.
Yeah, I would definitely definitely agree. Watkins Glen is one of my favorite road courses to watch on TV and drive. It's a very simplistic road course compared to Coda or, I mean, any one of the other road courses that NASCAR goes to. Watkins Glen to me is one of the easier road courses to go to, but it can definitely be tricky for guys who are not used to turning left and then turning right, for sure. So having that well-rounded background in all aspects can definitely play a part in all series or leagues that you run in. If you're looking to run league races or work your way through the licenses the right way, by running as many laps as possible, running as many races as possible, and just being clean and actually using the skill that you can learn through those races to work your way up into the top 5 or top 10, top split of those races to gain I rating. So congratulations on the top 3 finish. It's going to help you in the points. We're going over to Iowa, right down the road. I asked Jared about his skill level going into Iowa. He seems to think that that's going to be a top race for him. Are you looking forward to Iowa? I know you've got tons and tons of experience of racing. So how do you feel about going to Iowa next?
I like Iowa. It's just I'm hit or miss. Some races I run really good, and other races I feel like I'm chasing the car the whole time. So I like the track a lot. It depends on what the race ends up being, whether it's a lot of long runs or shorter runs. So I usually tend to run like middle up there. That tends to work better for me. So I think I should definitely be able to pull out a top 10, but I I don't want to go far. If we were going to Charlotte, I would say I'm in the realm for the win, but going there, I'm not so sure.
All right. Well, any friends, family, people you want to thank, anything like that from you?
Yeah, I mean, always thank my wife for letting me do this, and my 2 little girls, Allie and Josie, and all my buddies at SCR, and my best friend Eddie. He helps us a lot too, and you at Atlanta, everybody who helps make AER everything that it is.
Well, definitely appreciate that. You guys put on one hell of a show here. Great adminning by you guys and getting stuff figured out and getting these series going, and definitely helps Atlanta and I to be able to put on the broadcast and put the stream out there and show off the leagues as much as we can with the amount of skill and drivers you guys put in the talent you guys put on the track every week is definitely a benefit for us broadcasters week in and week out. So definitely appreciate that, and we'll come back here after the break. I believe what I'm understanding is we don't come back next Monday or next Monday for Iowa. It's the Monday after that. Is that what I'm understanding?
Yeah, January 2nd. That's the
So
next
January
race.
2nd we'll be back. So after New Year's we'll come back, start the new year off with a track that's tricky for some, and if you're good at it, you're good at it. If you're not, then we'll find you towards the middle or the back of the pack, and hopefully able to figure it out through the race, and hopefully guys practice over this next week or so break, and we'll come back and see what what we can do about maybe a bounty being put on Jared so he doesn't get his third straight. But if he's able to complete that, that's a pretty big feat with the amount of skill and talent that is stacked into this roster of drivers. So we'll come back for that race January 2nd at Iowa. Tune in at 8 o'clock. You always tune in on Facebook, Twitch, YouTube, or the Roku channel app called iRock TV, where you can watch it in 4K. The streams that are going on right now on those other 3, you can watch over there for 4K or with 4K on your TV if you got the Roku stick or the Roku app on your TV. Just look for iRock TV and go back and watch this race or any other race that I have done for AER or Velocity Motorsports Turned Down for What. The Sim Racing Channel races. There's so many different races that I've done. There's also about 18 to 20 other content creators. Repeat, Atlanta, Rick James, Pochnowski, SBRN. There's so many different content creators who have leagues going all over the place on that Roku stick where you can go back and rewatch all those. So appreciate you guys for tuning in. Appreciate the 15 family and the 15's family and friends that came out into chat Appreciate you guys coming out 2 weeks in a row now, filling up the chat board with rooting on the 15. Almost had one for him tonight, but got caught up in a late incident. So we'll see what happens when we come back for Iowa, and we'll catch you guys tomorrow night for Velocity Motorsport at 7:30. I will be live with Shadowlack up in the booth with me for that race. So we'll see if Tyler Dohar can go for a three-peat over there, and then we'll go into the break. Catch you guys later.